Hey, my name is Eric Rokeach. Today I'm here with Jen Chittle, another incredible, amazing client, and she's here today to talk about her story and what it's like training over at Iron Core and fill us in with all the details about what has been going on with her. So Jen, thank you so much for doing this. It's something I really appreciate taking the time out of your day to do with us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's set the stage. We were talking before recording, so I got a little background info, but everybody who's watching doesn't. So can you kind of let people know or tell them what life was like before you decided to join and kind of what you were going through?
Okay, I'm really into health and fitness, so I was going to the gym quite a bit, and every day I was going to the gym. I was watching gym videos on Instagram and Facebook and trying to figure out what I wanted to do for a routine. I was doing that constantly. I picked up a trainer. I went to see him twice a week for 30 minutes, but it didn't seem like it was working as much as I wanted it to. And I also picked up trainers off of Instagram, and they lived in the UK, and I would meet with them every Thursday and talk to them and try and figure out a thing. And I'd have to count what I was eating and watch my macros and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I wasn't losing or gaining the defined muscles that I really wanted to get. So one day I was just scrolling on Facebook and I saw this challenge that came up from Iron Core, and it said, are you over 40? And we want you. Are you interested in losing weight or getting what you want? So I thought I would give him a call, and I gave him a call, and that's when I started.
So it sounds to me like you pretty much were tried, and without putting words in your mouth, it sounds like you're trying everything.
Yes, everything. Everything.
Okay.
I just, I'm over 40, I'm 48, and, going through the change of life or whatever they want to say, I find it was getting harder to lose weight. Not that I was like heavier, but I felt sluggish and drained all the time. Like I wasn't getting the workouts that I wanted to. I wasn't sweating enough. I wasn't seeing change, even though I was at the gym every day, or I was riding my bike, or I was playing baseball or golf and doing whatever, and nothing was working. I was staying at like a plateau. It was like, couldn't change it, even though I was trying to find all these different workouts. So I just like, something had to change. And I was really getting frustrated, like trying, not eating enough and then eating too much. And so it was quite frustrating.
I can imagine that level of frustration, right? You're doing everything, right, that they tell you to do, quote unquote.
Yep.
But nothing was working with any of that stuff and your frustration. So how long were you in that frustration mode for and kind of feeling that way?
The last frustration mode would be this last year and a half. Like I started running a year ago thinking that would help. Because you know what? Let's get into it. Just out of the blue, decided to run a 5K. I was doing everything else. I'm not kidding you. I had a trainer. I was going to the gym. I was doing yoga. Maybe I wasn't doing it right or getting enough sweat or whatever. Trying to count macros. So about a year and a half ago, I started running and thought that would help. And, it was good. I was starting to lose weight and feel better. But then I felt like I was losing muscle because I was running too much. Which I wanted to define a little bit more. Yeah, I would say within the last year, I was really getting frustrated because April I started, and even my husband was getting frustrated with me because I was like, nothing's working, like whatever, so.
And on top of all the money, right?
Yeah.
Trainer
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything, just throwing it out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So along with that frustration, your husband was noticed. So obviously there were some mood shifts. Right.
Yeah.
There were some changes and all that. And like you said, there were some energy things as well. But then this popped up. Now and you've tried a lot of things. There are a million and one things. But what was it about this, I guess, ad or what you had seen that said, you know what, I think this is something that I want to try compared to all the million other things that are out there?
I like how it was 30 minutes. And when I just thought anything that said over 40, I thought they probably know what I'm going through. So I thought, he says, are you a woman over 40? Want to join let's try a 6-week challenge and we'll see if you like it. And I thought, why not? I've tried everything with 6 weeks out of my life to try and see if I like it, right? 6 weeks, whatever. He called me right away. And I thought talking to him on the phone 30 minutes a day or 3 times a week is something that I could do instead of spending 2 hours or an hour at the gym. And I could pick my time where I wasn't waiting for a trainer to say, oh, okay, I can only see you on this time. At Iron Core, there's a lot of different times that you can pick in the morning or in the afternoon. You're not just stuck on 1 or 2 times. You've got like 8 times a day or something when he does have it. So that made it a little bit easier for my schedule with my life and my job. And I'm that typical mom. I take care of everybody. I do all the laundry, all the cooking, all the cleaning. I have a wonderful husband who works a lot, just like me. And so I needed something that would, and I play baseball and we golf and we're very active people. So I needed something that would give me a good sweat and a good burn and make me feel like I was actually doing something for 30 minutes. Felt good. And I thought, why not try it?
Okay. So then tell us, what it was like walking in. What was your experience? Were you nervous? What was kind of your first impressions?
I was nervous because I've never maybe tried a kettlebell, but never did it right. You can watch videos as much as you want, but you don't do it right. So yeah, I was nervous. Well, I'm not really. I can walk into places by myself quite a bit. Like I'm okay with that. Maybe nervous about a new program. Can I do it? Will I like it? Rob was very welcoming, like really cool. Like even on the phone, he was super awesome on the phone. Like he was very upbeat and very happy and very positive, and I really like that. Like really like having a positive feedback or whatever. So he made it very easy for me to come in and see him. So I had to go in a half hour early before, and they showed you how to do use the kettlebell and practice that. And they really focus on the right, how to do it right. Like not just, if you do it right, you'll never injure yourself. So if you're doing it wrong, he'll stop you right away and tell you he's not doing it. So he wants to spend that time with you 15, 20 minutes before class or whatever, and make sure you got it before the first class started. And that's what I did. And of course, nervous starting low weights and everything, but it was great. Like the first class, I was like, this is amazing.
Okay. Now, as you go through, it wasn't just all kettlebells, right? Like, was there other things involved? Was it a different type of training? It wasn't just like everything you do is with a kettlebell.
Oh no, not everything's with you. That's what I like about it too. It's like we do a lot of push-ups and sit-ups and rope work, like ropes, balls, like weight balls, and he switches it up every class. Like it's different. So
okay. All right. Tell me about what the classes are like, what the people are like. I guess what the energy and the vibe.
It's great. Like? Yeah, it's great. The energy is really good, and it's awesome. Like everybody's very friendly and very helpful, and you just pick your spot. And the music's great. And then the girls come in, and we have a couple other trainers in there, and they're so awesome. And it's just fun, and they're very positive. Like I don't know, I just get along. The women that get in there, the men that come in, everybody just kind of chats before class. We and you follow him for 30 minutes and then you stop, but there's no one's looking at you funny, or if you're tall, short, thin, heavy, like everybody's very welcoming and they want everybody to succeed. Like I just felt really comfortable, and I've made some really good friends in the last few months that I've been there. So
it sounds like it's different from almost anything else that you tried.
Definitely 100%. Like I was hooked within the first 2 weeks. I'm like, I am going to stay here forever. And I remember coming home and telling my husband, I don't care what this cost me or what it is. And it's not expensive at all. Not at all. Like it's something that we can afford completely. It's like a gym membership. It's amazing. I said, I have tried so much and I'm totally loving this. Like absolutely loved it. Looked forward to Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Is this the kind of thing where it can work for everybody? Because is there modifications? Can it kind of just between all those people?
Absolutely. There's modifications if you're injured. He always says to you, try it. If you're tired, rest, and then start again. So he never pushes you. You go at your own pace. If you can swing the kettlebell 3 times and you have to stop for a couple minutes, he wants you to do that. And he tells you that, like, do what you can, do what you can. And if you feel tired or whatever, stop for a minute and catch your breath and start again. So you don't have, it just depends on how hard you want to work or how less you don't want to, you know what I mean? Like you at your own pace, kind of.
Yeah, and like you said, you were having fun. So
yes,
that if you're having fun, that rubs off. I'm guessing, right? And everybody else seems to be feeding off of that vibe and that energy.
Yes. And there's fans everywhere. So he always says, if you're sweating, we'll flip the fans on. So there's fans everywhere, and you can flip them on. And yeah, very comfortable setting. And he really pays attention to each person, which I really like. There's the times where I would go to a class, like a yoga class, and I'd be new and I wouldn't know what I'm doing, and you're trying to watch the trainer to see what they're doing. Well, Rob really pays attention to how many people, whether you have 4 people in the class or the maximum of 12 people in the class, he watches and walks around and makes sure that you're doing it right, because if you don't do it right, then you're going to hurt yourself. And he makes sure that you're comfortable, and maybe if your weight's too big, and he knows each person, like he'll say to me, oh, Jen, no, you can do heavier than that. Come on. So then I'm like, okay. And I grab a heavier bell, which I like because I want someone to know, like, I know what I can do, but maybe I'm a little bit scared. But when I have him telling me, or one of the other trainers, and they say, you can go a little bit heavier, that, oh, maybe you should go a little bit lighter on that one. Then it's nice to know that they really do pay attention to you and want you to succeed at what you're doing. And that's what I like.
I'm actually going to come back to Rob in just a minute, because you said a couple things I want to come back to. But what I'm really curious about is, you said you knew within 2 weeks, like, yeah, this is for me. I love this. How far or how long into the process was it before you actually started to see some results?
Right away, like I felt really good. Like my energy was really good. so I felt that results right away. Within the first 6 weeks, because it was a 6 week program, right? So definitely within the first 4 weeks, I probably felt better, maybe lost a couple pounds right away. Like I could say I felt heavy before I started, maybe more bloated or uncomfortable. And then I started doing kettlebell. So weight wasn't really yes, it was, but it wasn't, like I wasn't overweight, but I wanted to tone and change my fat weight to a muscle weight. So that's where I'm at right now, like really seeing the muscle. And my husband saying, wow, well, he always tells me I look good. He's just a nice guy, but he's saying like, you can see the change, like the definition of my arms and just my attitude. Like I'm always happy. And it's just it's good.
So let's talk about, I guess, total numbers at the point. So the time that we're recording this, you've been there for probably around, let's say, 5 months or so,
Yeah,
give or take,
I think
right?
so. April, yep.
Yeah. So how much? Again, it wasn't the main thing with it, but I know you had lost some weight. So how much total weight did you lose?
It was like almost exactly 20 pounds. So I'm very happy with that. And he had like this little challenge that we could join, and it was really fun too, where he said, okay, I have a 6 week challenge. And if anybody wants to join it, it was like a certain amount of cost, but not a lot. And you got to weigh in every Monday, and then he would measure you every Monday. And then we would follow that and come to your classes. You had to come to your classes and then every Monday you get weighed in. And then we would be on a board like, oh, this person lost so much weight and this person lost so many inches. And then everybody kind of won something at the end if they did that. So that kind of makes you work a little bit harder, I guess. I joined it and it was fun.
So you started the 6 weeks challenge, and then you knew based on how you were feeling and what you were seeing that you're like, yep, I got this. I'm signing up.
Yep. And I signed on for another 6 months. Like there's the different programs that you can sign up for, like how much you want. He'll sit down with you and go through what you feel like you want to do. Like, do you want to sign up for this many classes and how many you can go? So I can go 3 times a week. And I signed up for a solid 6 months, and then I'll just extend it after 6 months, and see where it goes from there. But it's not something that I ever want to not do anymore.
Mm-hmm. So obviously, right, you did this, you're seeing results because you're signing up, you're continually doing that, right? The weight loss was there. You said you're toning a little bit, you're feeling happier. Let's dive into a little bit more of that. Like, what are you noticing? Like you said, you're toning. Is the clothes are fitting differently? Is there physical feel? What are you seeing?
I'm seeing lots of muscle on my arms, like lots. So I'm really feeling good. I know I love to do that. Clothes are fitting fantastic. Like, I still, I had a couple kids, so I have like a baby belly, but, like it's not, everything's just kind of toned. I don't have, wrinkles anymore when I put my bra on, or, I'm noticing so much. And, my pants fit good. Like maybe the muscles in my legs are very defined now because 1, I like to run, but 2, I'm constantly doing a lot of, the kettlebell movement and everything. So I can see that you can see it. Like it's amazing. I love it.
Are there things now that you can do that were maybe a struggle before? Are things easier in certain areas now?
Well, my job's very physical, so I find that I'm not as tired maybe, or I can do something a little bit longer there at work. And my running's getting a little bit better, like just because my legs are getting stronger, right? So just being more alert all the time.
So in terms of the other thing, the energy, like it seems like you have a ton of energy. Have you always had that, or is there even more
Absolutely. Now? I do have a lot of energy. I'm a very energetic person. Not in a bad note, but in 2021, I had a breakdown, and life was very hard at one point. Like it came from an abusive relationship and everything. So in 2021, during COVID and everything, I did have a mental breakdown, and fitness and health became even more important to me, where I would walk every day to get rid of anxiety. And there's 3 things that you need to do when you're going through mental stress or heartache or whatever. And I was pretty bad for a little while. Exercise is extremely important. So I started walking and going to the gym and, going to counseling and doing whatever. So at one point in my life, maybe I wasn't as happy as I was, but I worked to get where I am now. I'm always very energetic. Like people always say, you make me tired just when you tell me that you woke up at 5 a.m. Because my day starts at 5 a.m. every day. I work 6 days a week. I'm the fire inspector at Ford Motor Company. So I'm constantly doing lifting, whatever. Work 6-7 days a week. Come home, take care of the house, play softball 2 nights a week, run 3 nights a week, go to the gym when I can. So I like that kettlebell as something that I can just throw in there right before dinner, do my kettlebell 30 minutes. And I know once I get that in, I can come home, make dinner and get everybody happy. And I've already done my workout after work. So it's good.
Yeah, I was going to dive into kind of like the stress side of things, the mental side of things, and how this has benefited. So obviously, right, what we're talking, there's obviously a big benefit for this with you with that. And I'm guessing because before you said your husband was noticing the frustration before, what's he noticing now?
I'm a lot more less stressed, like I don't I think it's because I'm really concentrating on doing something that I really enjoy. Like, I go to the gym and come home, and sure, I love going to the gym and I love working out and doing things, but I would go there and he would do his thing and I would do my thing and he would try and help me out, but then it wasn't something that I could do, and then try these classes so he could see the frustration. But now he sees how happy I am when I go to kettlebell and I come home and I'm like, oh, that was a killer class today. I like did it, man. And I'm like, oh, I went up to 45 pounds on this, or, so and even like this, where Rob's like, I asked if I could do a Google review and if they had that, like a Google. So I put a Google review on for him and he was like, that was so nice. And just approaching me and saying, Jen, you're very positive and happy. And you seem like you've really enjoyed the kettlebell classes and you're getting what you want out of it. And, asking me to do this, talk to you or whatever, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's fantastic. And I think, with what you've seen with the changes, if we were to this might be hard, but if we were to pinpoint kind of what's been your favorite shift or your favorite benefit or result, what would that be?
I feel young, but definitely weight loss, but it felt good. Like it did feel good losing weight. But just, I love the muscle. Like I look at one point in my life, a couple of years ago, I wanted to really compete. Like I was thinking, okay, I'm going to compete before I'm 50. Well, that's a year and a half away. And then, but what I was doing was like, I could never see the muscle happening. So now when I stand there and I brush my hair and I can see that my muscles look good and maybe I don't. So that's it. Like just the define of not always flexing and maybe just sitting there. And I like that look. I really like the muscle look and I can really see it happening now. So it's a good feeling.
Knowing the frustration you were having before, where you were doing all these things and you were seeing no results. In fact, kind of opposite, like what you wanted. And now you've seen these results. Like, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. Like, it was like number one for me. Like, I was so into working so hard to get to where I'm at right now, or even I'm going to go further because I'm getting to the point where I'm at. It was like number one. Fitness was number one. Like everything I was doing I wanted to be where I'm at now. I feel great. I feel happy and young and yeah.
Has this been life-changing for you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. And you can even see it too. And my kids say that too. Like I feel good when I go out and they're like, oh, that's your daughter. Like I'm not, they'll be like, oh, that's your mom. You look great. You don't look 48. Like, sure, maybe that's just what people say, but no, I feel great. And, yeah, I'm very happy all the time. And
I mentioned before I wanted to come back to Rob. So we're coming back to Rob now. And you mentioned some really interesting things, but I like to find out, and I kind of like to hear from clients' perspective, right? Yeah, they're trainers. They're great at what they do. You talked about modifications and, all that kind of stuff, but I want to know who he is as a person. So can you give a few words or phrases or those types of things that describe who he is as a person?
Oh, he's great. Oh, he's so funny. He's very personable, which I really like. So, like I said, like he really cares about the people that are coming in. You're not just a person you're not just anybody. He knows your name. He knows why you're there. He knows what you want to do. He takes time to kind of chat with us before class. We talk about things that we did for the weekend or, whatever. He's just very personal, very easy to get along. This is so important to him, his work. And you can see it. Like he's so in love with what he does and he cares about it so much. That it's his name that goes with this. So he wants to make sure everybody's doing it the way they should be doing it and enjoying it. Like he doesn't want you to hate it or whatever.
Are there any Rob-isms or there sayings or phrases that just, yeah, that's Rob? Like when he says stuff, things that kind of just pop out.
Like he always says, if you hate me or whatever, I know you probably hate Rob right now and good or something that you're supposed to. Like he will make that. I like it when he always says and we're like second last round. So we know it's almost entering and he's like, yes. And then he'll joke around and say, if you don't act excited about it, then we'll give you a couple more rounds or, act like you're happy about it or something. But
yeah. Do you get the sense that he cares?
Absolute. Oh, 100%. Like I said, he knows exactly who you are. When you come in and you're like, he's always ready to go, like he always says hi and knows everyone's name. And it's nice when you see people that have been there going there for 6 years. And he knows all about them. Like, he'll be like, oh, she's on my wall. And, this girl started at this time and she's been working for 6 years. And so that it is working when people are still going there and enjoying it. Right. But no, I feel like family.
All right, let's wrap up with this. So let's say someone is in a really similar situation to where you were, they've tried everything, nothing's worked, they're frustrated, and they come across the opportunity to do this, to work out here, but they're still on the fence because they haven't seen results from anything before. What would you tell that person to push them off the fence?
Well, I would tell them my life, what I went through and how I went, and that it's just 30 minutes, 3 times a week. And it's very family orientated. There's nothing that really should stop you from doing it. And it's 30 minutes. That's not very long in my eyes.
Well, Jen, amazing story. And in really short period of time, the benefits that you've seen, the results, and after, all this time struggling and being the frustration through everything, it's pretty cool to see how quickly you've seen these changes in yourself and your family seeing this in you. And I just want to wish you the best of luck with everything.
Thank you.